The spirit of murder has overtaken many people. On the news lately, I've been seeing so much violence that's been happening on the news, right? I've been seeing so much stories of all these killings that's happening across America. You got parents that's being taken out by their own kids. I'm talking about you got sons and daughters taking out their own parents, taking out their own mothers, their fathers. You got women who are being taken out by their own husbands. We've been seeing that a lot lately, to be honest, especially. We saw it 2 weeks ago with the vice mayor in Florida. I heard about a husband and wife. The guy took the wife out, then he took himself out in North Carolina. It was a Haitian couple. Then I'm hearing about something that happened in Jersey. A nurse was going to work. Her estranged husband stalked her, took her out, then took himself out. I've been seeing so much of this violence in the news, yo. It's been crazy. Now I'm hearing about things that's happening in Louisiana. A guy in Louisiana, he takes out 8 of his kids before he takes himself out. There's so much violence that's happening in the news, yo, and it's crazy. We gotta understand this, yo, is that the Bible says we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but principalities, powers, and rulers and darkness of the air. You have to understand is that there are a lot of people, we all carrying something inside of us. You either have the Holy Spirit inside of you, or you got demons inside of you. And the thing is, a lot of people, they need deliverance, and a lot of people have demonic spirits inside of them. And one spirit that's inside, that could be inside somebody, is a spirit of murder. You see, before something a lot of times happens in physical, it starts in supernatural. A lot of times you don't know what type of spirit a person is carrying. That's why so many Christians, they talk about deliverance. That's why you see throughout Jesus' ministry, it was just deliverance. Him casting demons out of people. Because deliverance is very essential, yo. That's what I said in my video a few weeks ago, the one about domestic violence. I specifically said that when you get married and you courting someone for marriage, deliverance is something that should be in the table. It should be something that you don't take lightly. It should be something that every person who's planning to get married to somebody does, because you don't know what's haunting a person. You see, a person could act nice and sweet and innocent, right? They can act so nice and act like they'll never hurt a fly. But a lot of times you don't know what's truly sitting inside of somebody. You don't know what type of spirit a person could be carrying. A person could be carrying a demon of murder, y'all. That's why, y'all, we see so many of these things happening, so many of these things in America, even things across the world, not even just the U.S. That's how you could see a person who could walk into a school and try to take out a bunch of teachers and kids, people who don't even know, and he just tries to physically hurt them. That's how you can see a married couple. They could be married for 10, 20, and 30 years. Many of us have seen these stories. And all of a sudden, the husband just goes and just takes out the wife, or the wife goes and does something to the husband. Look, there was another story in North Carolina. North Carolina, you had a pastor being taken out by her own husband. These are things that we see in the news often. And not far from where I live, we had some teenagers that unfortunately lost their lives due to gun violence. And y'all, we see these things happen so many times across the world. Not even just America, across the world. People just shooting people like it's like there's no cause to it. People just taking people out like it's no big deal. But you see, y'all, the spirit of murder has infiltrated many people. That's why, y'all, I've spoken against the culture that's being pushed in society, that's being pushed in mainstream music, because a lot of it contributes to it. Because you got a lot of people, they listen to that stuff. They listen to that drill rap. They listen to that rap music, the drill rap specifically, where they talk about gun violence, shooting ops, robbing people, sexual immorality. Now listen, y'all, what you listen to has a big impact on your life, right? What you listen to has a massive impact. You're not supposed to just be listening to anything, because there's certain things that could really get inside of your soul and really mess you up as a person. I believe in the 90s, right? In the early 90s, there was a guy, he went out and he harmed a police officer. And they say the music he was listening to was a song about harming police. It was one of those rap songs about harming police. See, y'all, what you listen to has a strong impact on your mind. It has a strong impact on your soul. And that's one of the reasons why we see so many spirits of murder that's inside many people nowadays. That's why we see so many people doing a lot of these things, committing all these heinous acts, these senseless killings. That's you see so much of it because a lot of times in music they push it even more. But like I said, a lot of people they walk around with the spirit of murder inside of them. That's why y'all always say that you gotta be very careful you hang around because imagine you, right? If you got a nice house, a nice car, you got great blessings, you got a happy marriage, you happy, you ain't got no real drama in your life, right? You got a person who could have the spirit of murder inside of them. They could have that wicked spirit inside of them, right? And they'll say you happy. They'll say you prosperous. They'll see you succeeding. They'll see you pulling up in a nice car and a nice Benz. And all of a sudden, they're just going to take a person out. We see this time and time again in the news. Person gets taken out due to jealousy. You got some woman, right, to where they leave some of their boyfriends or or their husband. They separate because of issues, right? And the guy can't move on. He can't go move on with his life. He can't move on and go find something else to do. Something else productive to do. Now he goes and stalks the woman and tries to take her out. Look how many stories we've seen of that. We see that many of us have, many of y'all probably know people who are victims of domestic violence. And and the guy could as easily go move on. Or vice versa. A guy who gets harmed by his ex-girlfriend and his wife. They can't just move on and go live their life. Because the spirit of murder that's inside a lot of people, yo. This spirit has infiltrated so many people nowadays. That's so you can see teenagers just quick to pull a trigger. Just quick to just pull out a gun. Two teenagers get into it, they get into an argument, they get into a scrap, all of a sudden a gun gets pulled out, shots gets fired. A lot of people nowadays, now in the drill rap nowadays, now you got songs by some rappers where they like, if you ain't got no body, you lame. I believe I heard a girl one time say that online. She was like, if you ain't got no bodies, you lame. She basically saying if you never even took nobody out, she can't even date you. So if she looks like taking somebody out, taking a person's life is just like a daily part of life. Like, oh, it's just something you do. You just wake up one day, eat a sandwich, and just go take someone out. Like, no, that is not, taking someone's life is not no simple thing. It is not no simple thing. Even if you talk to people who have to defend their lives or people who fought in the army, a lot of times you can't bring it up to them. That's what they always tell you. Don't talk to an army person about how many people they took out, how many terrorists they shot or anything like that, because it brings back memories. Because regardless of self-defense or not taking someone's life is not something that it's not something that just a part of for everyday life. That's something serious, yo. That's something serious. And some people, they made it look like it's cool. The rappers make it like it's cool. The entertainers make it like it's cool. It's not cool, yo. Because people who commit unrighteous killings, you take someone out over jealousy, hatred, envy, anything like that, you will reap what you sow. You will reap what you sow. And guess what? The guilt will always come back. Because your conscience will always come back. You could talk to a lot of people who worked in prison, a lot of people who've been around, a lot of people who did killings, right? They'll tell you that a lot of them can't even sleep at night. You got people who admit that people they taken out, people whose lives they took, they'll tell you a lot of time their victim faces haunt them for life. They see their victim faces in dreams and everything. Y'all, that's not no simple matter. We got a lot of people to where they're hosting all different legions of demons. Remember in the Bible when Jesus cast the demons off of men? The demons is called legions. You got people who got a lot of demonic spirits inside of them. And one of the main spirit that's haunting many people is the spirit of murder. Listen, y'all, there was a study done not too long ago, and it said how many people would take someone out for $1 million. Like a good, 15 or 20% of the population said they would do it. Over money. They'll be willing to just go take a random person's life over money. And 15 to 20% might not seem like a lot to y'all, but remember, we got over 400 million people in America, something like that. So that's still a good percentage of the population. That's a good percentage of the population. This wicked spirit has overtaken a lot of people. And the thing about it is, unless you got spiritual eyes, unless you got eyes to see, unless you got strong discernment, you ever know that the spirit could be inside somebody. A person could be nice, smiling, talking to you. And then that's how the enemy catches people. You got these people to where they're nice, they smile, they act like they're so nice, they can't harm a fly. And a lot of times they got the spirit inside of them. And that's why you can see people who all of a sudden they were so nice and quiet, all of a sudden now they just went out on a rampage and just took someone out. And people be like, oh my gosh, they were so quiet, what happened? The person got demonized. They probably had spirit of murder inside of them the whole time. Nobody just knew it, unless you had spiritual eyes. And then the enemy, that's so you always got to guard your mind. That's so you cannot have negative influences around you. Because how the enemy works is he'll try to come tempt you. Because, for example, let's say you're a guy, you got your heart broken by a girl. Unless you solid in God, you know how to resist the enemy could get inside your head. The enemy could say, hey, how you just gonna let her break your heart? Why don't you go do something? Stand up for yourself. You can't just let her get away with it. Hey, remember that guy who tried to fight you out the school and embarrass you in front of everybody? Well, why don't you go see him later on? Come on, go see him. You just go bring something with you. It'll be quick. Nobody gonna catch you. You see the enemy, he'll get inside a lot of people's mind. And that's why a lot of times, a lot of people, they fall victim to enemy schemes, but at the same time, you're accountable for your actions. Because Satan could just tempt you. He can't force you to do anything. You're accountable for your actions. Y'all be very wise, because the enemy, he's getting into a lot of people's mind. You see a lot of people, they're losing their minds in these last days. All these things happening, gas price high, economy, a lot of people struggling to find jobs. A lot of people, they're losing their minds. Rumors of wars, rumors of more pandemics. A lot of people, they're losing it mentally. A lot of people's mind not stable. And they becoming demonized. A lot of people, they listen to that Joe Rap talk about music. That spirit of murder gets inside of them. And they ready to just crash out in the first person they see. I've seen people like that, especially a lot of men. They walk around posturing like they're some tough guy. Like they can't wait to get into something. Like they can't wait to get into a war. Like they can't wait to go do something to somebody. Y'all, a lot of people, they love violence. They have an evil spirit inside of them. They got demonic spirits they need deliverance from. For y'all who are looking to get married or be friends with certain people, always be watchful of the friends that you keep. Make sure the discernment is on point. Always ask God to reveal a person's character to you. Because a lot of people, they try to live life, they try to be friends, go from relationship to relationship to relationship, just have a bunch of friends, and a lot of times they even know what type of spirits their friends or that person they're courting for marriage is carrying. Always be wise, y'all, because the devil, he's looking to destroy a lot of people in these last days. The enemy, he comes to rob, kill, and steal. And we gotta stay prayed up and keep a discernment in point in these final hours.